Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of the viewers who are watching me. Some exciting news regarding the state sponsorship, recent migration updates, and lots of other, small and good news coming out from the Department of Home Affairs. So today we'll be discussing one by one on all those, the recent updates, along with whatever questions you may have it, you can ask me. So I'm more than happy to take this session extensively, more than an hour as well. Whatever questions you may have it, you can just put it on the comments box, and my team would then make sure that at least we should address whatever comes in within the time frame. All right, so let's start with the the first and the foremost update is the Victoria State sponsorship round today happened as well. They have invited lots of 491s. And the exciting news about that is that we have got one chef occupation being nominated for 491 only on 70 points. So that's quite amazing. Victorian state sponsorship 491 chef occupation only on 70 points. So that's a very proud moment for us. We are really very excited, and we thought to break this news within this live. I'll share quickly about the profile of that applicant who got the invite today. Uh, she has got somewhere around 2.5 years of experience as chef. She has got six each. Uh, she has got her Nati done, Australian qualification, and been a singer. We applied through workforce pathway, which is quite common these days, and you can see the results only 70 points, whereas she itself has only 55 points. So 15 points was given by the state. So altogether it was 70 points. I'm so excited for her, and I wish all the best, and hopefully we'll launch the formal nomination application today, and hopefully to get the formal invite through EOI, inshallah, hopefully next few days. Now let's get back to a few of the news which has coming recently for last 1 month, because if you remember, I came to live last month on 11th of October, I believe, and after that there are some big news have came, especially towards the migration, opening of the borders. So we'll discuss on that one by one. So the first and the foremost is the Department of Home Affairs has confirmed that there is no changes will be made to the partner sponsorship arrangements. So if you remember, there was a news coming last year that they're making some changes to partner sponsorship, but they haven't changed anything so far. So since November, uh, it was due on November 13th, after 2 days, but they haven't made any changes to the system, and hopefully they're not coming up. So still you have plenty of time to launch the partner visas, because after 13, or maybe once the system would be upgraded or they updated the new the arrangements, then it's going to be tough for you to lodge a partner visa. I'm talking about the permanent partner visas 820, 801, 309/100. The second the most exciting news, Section 48 bar has been removed. So those who are onshore has got the refusals, especially the temporary visa refusals where you are not able to apply for any visa onshore. They now have an opportunity to apply for 189, 190, and 491, which is amazing. So lots of people were stuck due to COVID-19 situation. They can't travel to their home country in order to apply for a visa, or maybe they need to be offshore for a day or two. But now you don't need it, because ultimately, if you go offshore, then you cannot come back because you were on a temporary or temporary visa or bridging visa A or B, and ultimately you have to stay outside, and keeping yourself for 3 4 months or 5 months, it's going to be really tough. So Section 48 bar is no more. Those who have joined us from India and Pakistan, I'll also try to translate the same thing. uh, जिन जिन लोगों के सेक्शन 48 बार थे, फॉर इंस्टेंस अगर आपका टेम्पररी वीजा रिफ्यूज हुआ इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया, so you get a section 48 bar that has been removed now. So आप जो है अपनी state sponsorship की requirement को फौरन meet करके and then you can apply. And lots of states now have put on their website as well that they have or they have taken up the same policy, and they have no issues inviting any of the applicants who are eligible. And unfortunately, they had the Section 48 bar. So this is an exciting news for all of those who are waiting for meeting the state requirement and don't want to travel back or go offshore for some days or for a few days. Now they can still apply within Australia. Another exciting news was the border opening for Australian permanent residents and citizens. So now you don't need to have any sort of an exemption required. Plus, the quarantine can be done at home if you are double vax. So it's exciting. Also, the another news which came on 1st of November, they actually start affected from 1st of November. The Australian permanent residents and citizens, their parents can come to Australia. They'll get the easy exemption if they already have done the double vax as per the accredited the vaccinations by the department. So if your parents have done the double vax, then they can apply for an exemption subject to they already have the visas. So lots of visas were pending. Now the good part is, like, if you have any visa pending, you should straight away apply for an exemption, get the exemption approval, and then send it to your case officer or to the Department of Home Affairs, and they will quickly grant you the visa, because they knew that there's no certain limitations now, no barrier. Your parents can travel straight away. So golden opportunity for those who wanted their parents to be in Australia, but again, it's only for Australian citizens and PR. So make sure that at least you know that it's not for temporary visa holders or international students who are on a student visa. Now, there are a couple of questions coming up. Hopefully, we will definitely gonna take those questions. But before that, I just need to make sure that I'm just putting all the news and migration updates, and then inshallah I'll take the questions one by one. So stay tuned with us. Do not go anywhere. I'll be answering all of the queries you are getting to. So now the now let's talk about the Victoria again, since I have broke the news that we have got one invitation today for 70 points. Victoria also yesterday have given sort of a calculation or sort of their state nomination program overall summary, that how many seats are left, how many they have got for 2021 2022. Now, very exciting news. They have got 190 3,500 places, where it used to be 2,500. So 1,000 more seats this year. And by far, or on as of now, 31st October 2021, they've only invited 989 applications, which is not even the 20% of the whole quota. So you can imagine you have heaps of applications still pending for 190. So those who haven't applied, they still have an opportunity to apply for Victorian ROI if they believe they have fall under the target sector and they're meeting the Victorian requirement. So you should apply. There is no limit that you cannot. If you have already lodged an ROI and that's not been selected, you should contact your registered migration agent. I'll give you a small tip here. If your EOI is more than 2 months old, and sorry, the ROI is more than 2 months old, and they haven't invited you, just withdraw that one and relaunch the new ROI. It will trigger to the system to Victoria, and pretty sure that they will invite you. So this is one of the tips. If you feel like it's been going for ages, you haven't got been invited, do like this, and I'm pretty sure that there are chances that they will pick your ROI if they haven't picked you for last couple of months. Now for 491, they only have 500 seats, but they have invited 106 applicants only. Applications been submitted only 106. So you can imagine you still have somewhere around 400, 384 applications, which is massive. I mean, you still have lots of opportunity to apply for 491. So those who are working in regional Victoria and living and they are part of the target sector, they should apply for this, because this is an amazing opportunity. And total ROIs been launched till date, it's 1115. But lots of ROIs been launched twice, they are not meeting the requirements, still people have tried. So half of them, or maybe third fourth of them, would already been sieved out. So you still have an opportunity. 384 seats are still available, so you should apply. Processing time is quite fascinating as well. Only 41 days they are processing more, 75% or more applications. And in 46 days they are almost 100% applications they are processing for 190. And same goes, almost same, 42 to 44 days they are processing almost 90% applications of 491. So quite amazing. So you should try Victoria if you are living in Victoria. Great opportunity, since now there are lots of seats available and lots of quota available. So this is the right time. Now, let's get back to the another state. So Queensland has also opened up their state migration plan, and that's quite exciting. Now, for the Queensland, there is no separate ROI. So we discussed about last year that they, for the phone 9 ones, you need to lodge another application. You need to email Queensland Department to consider you. For 190, it was all from the EOI. So pretty much the same here as well. But again, now they have for phone 91 also, they don't want any separate ROIs to be lodged, or no emails need to be sent to Migration Queensland. You only need to update ROI. Even not update, you need to lodge a new ROI. So those who already have an ROI and you have selected, sorry, expression of interest, and you have already selected Queensland in that, old EOIs are not being considered. So you need to ensure that you have lodged a new EOI. That's very important. So those who are waiting for old EOI to have some activity from the Queensland migration, they have categorically told us that they are not accepting any old EOIs. You have to lodge another separate EOI for Queensland again with a fresh round. So every round they need a new EOI. They won't be considering the old one. So just suspend that one or withdraw that one, lodge another one. So at least Queensland have an opportunity to look into your profile. Now, a few of the requirements we will discuss on 190 and 491. Queensland has another, substream which is called the business stream, the small business stream. For that, there is a separate form needs to be filled if you're meeting the requirement. So make sure you have filled that form, otherwise they won't be considering you. So lodging in EOI and then filling up that form for 491 business stream. So do remember that one. Now let's get back to the requirements of 190 Queensland. For 190, they have given a baseline of 80 points. So lesser than 80 points, they will not be interested in your profile. So you must be 80 or higher. All right. And that includes the state points. So obviously, if you have 75 points, you can add 5 points to make it 80, but make sure that at least try to have more points. If you have 80, you have more better chance. For phone 91, 65 points or higher are fine. So if you have 50 points, state will give you 15 points. So it altogether would be 65. Proficient English is must. So you must need to have 7 each. Lodging, again, I told you for 190, you should lodge an EOI. You don't need to lodge any ROI. And there is another requirement that you must be working for past 6 months in your nominated occupation. So that's very important. You should need to have work experience in last 6 months in your nominated occupation. That's very important. Now for 491, again, you have some requirements. 3 months of work experience in your nominated occupation and has to be minimum 35 hours per week. So they are not considering anything part time. It has to be 35 hours per week, both for 190 and 491. So make sure that at least you have your work ongoing and make sure that you are not leaving the job. That's the only requirements for 491. 491 postcodes are already given on the Queensland migration website. So you can check on the postcodes. You must need to live and work in those postcodes in order to be eligible for 491. Now there are some caveats for different occupations. So accountants, lots of people are waiting for accountants. So accountants, your firm needs to be CPA. So if your firm is not CPA, unfortunately they will not be considered. So you need to speak to employer and see whether you have CPA or not. Internal and external auditor, you must work in an internal or external auditor, not as an accountant. So that's another caveat. And for the cooks and chefs, similar, Department of Immigration caveat that it must need to be a proper dine-in. You can't um, apply if you're working in a takeaway or fast food restaurant. So Queensland will not accept any of the applications or EUI if you're working in fast food. Even though if you've been invited and you submit your documents after the pre-approval, they'll reject your application. So make sure you don't make such mistakes. Now for Queensland, the third and the foremost is the graduates for the Queensland University. So they have something very interesting, that your GPA needs to be at least 6 or higher. So that is really, you need to do it, and minimum 3 months of experience, that is part time, is acceptable for masters and bachelors, but has to be 3 months in your nominated occupation. Okay. And it has to be post study. So after your graduation, you need to have that 20 hours per week minimum experience. Otherwise, if you haven't worked, then you need to at least have a job offer for minimum 20 hours per week for a 12 months period of time. So job offer needs to be at least for 12 months. So this is the requirement. For PhD students, there's no such requirement to work. Only you need to be uh, in the occupation list which they have given. Apart from that, you must have to finish the PhD. So that's the only requirement of PhD. So lots of applicants have studied in University of Queensland, or maybe University of Southern Queensland, where there are lots of applications are going for the PhD. They have the great opportunity to apply, but these all applications are only for onshore. They're not accepting anything for offshore. Now we'll take a quick break. After a break, we'll discuss on the South Australia list for offshore applications. So they are the only state who are offering offshore applicants. So stay tuned. We'll discuss on that one. Alrighty. Thank you so much for waiting. So I was discussing about South Australia now. So the South Australia, they have opened up the nomination for offshore applicants as well. Now you can lodge a registration of interest along. You need to have an ROI active as well. Selecting South Australia state into your ROI, but you need to lodge a separate, EOI along with a separate ROI. So you need to log into the state migration website and lodge an ROI. The requirement for ROI is quite high, so you need to make sure that at least you're meeting the requirements, along with your occupation needs to be in that offshore list as well. So if you go to the website, you can search your occupation. If it falls under the offshore applicants, you must need to have 8 each, that is 79 each in PD, whereas you also need 8 years of experience. So lots of my clients are falling under such criteria. They already have got the PD, which I was continuously for last 1.5 years was saying that focus on PD, focus on PD. If you crack PD, you already have experience. See, this is the golden opportunity to get straight away 190 and 491 for South Australia if you have got the PD and 8 years of experience. We do offer PD classes, pdclasses.com.au. You should go there. It's a free logins you can make, and then you can buy the packages, the portal packages, along with the coaching packages. Very cheap. You should go get yourself registered, practice for PT, and get higher scores and apply for South Australia. This is for all offshore applicants. अगर आप मुझे सुन रहे हैं, आप पाकिस्तान से, इंडिया से, या कहीं पर भी दुनिया के कोने में हैं, अगर आप स्किल वर्कर हैं, स्पेशली इंजीनियरिंग बैकग्राउंड से हैं, आपके पास 8 years of experience है, और अगर 79 each in PT या 8 each in IELTS है, you can definitely go with South Australia state sponsorship. Trust me, they are one of the best states. अगर आप रिक्वायरमेंट मीट करते हैं तो स्टेट स्पॉन्सरशिप आपके लिए बहुत ईजी हो जाएगी. So that is all for South Australia. Now we'll go shortly for a very short break, and then after we'll take all the questions which have come up to our comment box. Thank you.
ThinkHigher consultants offer the best PTE online training. ThinkHigher is the only PTE online training institute in Pakistan. We are #1 PTE online training institute, 5-star ratings and positive reviews, Australian-based qualified PTE and NADI teachers. Our students are achieving 80 and 86 score in PTE.
Contact ThinkHigher at pteclasses@thinkhigher.com.au.
Alrighty, so we are back. Another exciting news for us. We just got 190 Western Australia final invitation for one of our clients. So congratulations, client. I can't spill the name, but he has got 190 as a chef. So he got a job offer for 12 months. He is right now in New South Wales and finally got the 190 final invitations. So many congratulations to my client C. His name starts from C. So all the very best. Now let's take the questions one by one. So I'll ask my team to just put up the questions on screen one by one, and we'll inshallah try to answer them. Yeah. The first one is from Vivek Thapa. Does New South Wales give priority to 190 living and working in regional New South Wales? Vivek, with our observation and what we have seen, yes, those who are living in New South Wales, regardless of whether you're living in regional or not, they're still giving priority. The only matter is that if you have more experience, if you have somewhere around 12 months of experience in New South Wales, then you have more opportunity rather than those who have recently have moved to New South Wales. And there were rumors that if you stay there for 3 months, most probably they will invite you. But that invitation is mainly for those who are on very high points, like 90, 95. So if you're still in New South Wales, you have got 90, 95 points, don't lose hope. You will get an invitation. So let's go to the next question. So Dips Patel asking, is the COVID visa still ongoing? Yes. So Dips, yes, COVID-19 408 visa is still ongoing. So those who wanted to apply, there are two streams. One is the streams where any applicant who is not able to travel back to India and they're stuck here on a visitor visa or some other visas, they can go with the COVID-19 408 visa. Otherwise, the second stream is the critical sector stream, where if you're working in a critical sector, if you got a job offer, you're still working in a critical sector, you can apply 408. That leads to a 12 months visa for to stay in Australia, work full time, and make the other visas way out. So that is but you cannot switch from one employer to other employer. There are some circumstances where you can, but you need to be in the same target sector. Let's get to this next question. Anmol Singh. Anmol Singh saying that I have lodged 190 visa and waiting for the decision from department. Can I apply student visa in order to complete my study, as I am in a second last semester and my student visa is expiring soon? In order to get TR, just to be on a safer side, is there any good chances that I'll get the student visa in case if I apply? Okay, so Anmol, you already lodged 190 visa and waiting for department decision. You can still lodge a student visa. The student visa is not an issue. You can always lodge a student visa if you feel like that, there may be a chance that your department can reject your 190 visa. So to avoid that, thing, you should apply for a student visa to have another substantive visa in place. That will again, yes, leads to a TR if you haven't applied for TR earlier, or an extension if you're living and working in a regional area. So you can apply for a TR extension later down the line. Yeah. So if not, then go with the student visa. Yeah. So any other questions? You can put it on the comment box. We'll take a short break. After that, we'll run through a few of our comments if you have any questions. If not, then we'll wrap up the session. Yeah. All right. Stay tuned.
Student visa. Is it your dream to study abroad, especially in Australia? Don't worry, we are here to assist you and guide you with your study visa process. Being MARA approved professional education visa consultants, we ensure you with maximum support and supervision.
Contact ThinkHigher consultants at thinkhigher.com.au.
Alrighty, so we are back. So hopefully Vivek, Debs, and Anmol, you have got your answers. If you can just acknowledge us on the comment box that you have got your answers, we would be really obliged. If you have any questions, you can ask me right now. I'm more than happy to get you on board and give more answers to further of your queries if it's related to the same questions you have already asked. So I'll wait for a couple of minutes and then we'll wrap up. We'll see if anybody has any other questions. Alrighty, it seems like I have given enough information and answers that have sufficed most of the viewers' queries. So thank you so much, guys, for joining this session. I believe that I have covered most of the information which has recently came from the Department of Home Affairs. There's some exciting news more coming up. Lots of people are waiting for international students or temporary visa holders borders to be open. If you want to prepare yourself, I'll give you some tips. So at least once the borders are open, you should be the first person to come in. First thing, double vax yourself and make sure that your vaccinations are all aggregated. Second is make sure that at least you have other vaccinations like polio or other stuff has been covered as well. So if you haven't done, especially for Pakistan and Afghanistan, if you're coming from there, you should have your vaccination done. Have valid passport. Make sure you have valid visa left. If you went for a bridging visa B and now the bridging visa B is expired, you need to have a valid other visa in order to come Australia. So check your visas, make sure it's not expired. And if your student visa or anything is in the verge of expiring, do contact us. We have got heaps of visa approvals from offshore. Those user visas were expiring and we got them an extension for another 2 years with new student visa along with very cheaper courses. So at least you don't need to spend much time, much money and time and efforts into getting an extension. Apart from that, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So thank you so much once again. It was lovely, being to this live. I'll be coming next month on same 11th of December, most probably with more exciting news. And inshallah, we'll take it from there. All the best. Ciao.